If you don't have time to compare everything, then use Xylocar. But if you want to see the full analysis, let's break it down. All right. So I pulled multiple vehicle history providers, put them side by side, including Carfax, Autocheck by Experian, and Xylocar, and I compared what you actually get as a buyer. All right, so here's the breakdown. This is a provider by provider comparison, pricing, data categories, recall coverage, auction access, valuation tools, odometer checks, everything, all right? So you can see that we analyzed depth of data, visual clarity, and whether auction photos are included, whether rollback detection has clearly surfaced, and whether negotiation tools are built in. Now, most reports just gives you history, and Xylocar gives you the whole story, and that gives you negotiating leverage. All right, let me show you what I'm talking about. Let's go into this Xylocar report so you can see what I mean. All right, right at the top of the Xylocar report, you get a clean summary dashboard, title status, accident flags, odometer status, open recalls, and market context. Okay, so it's visual, it's immediate, and there's no hunting through pages, okay? All right, next, full vehicle specs. Trim level, drivetrain, engine, factory configuration. And this matters because misrepresented trims are so common in resale listings. And you know exactly what you're buying. All right, let's scroll to the recall damage section. And this is where most buyers focused. And Xylocar doesn't just list a recall. It explains it clearly and then shows the status. Was it addressed or not? And accidents are categorized with context, not just a vague damage reported. And if there's something serious, it's visually obvious. All right, we'll go to the timeline view here. This timeline is one of my favorite parts, okay? So you see registration events, inspections, ownership transfers, mileage progression, all in chronological order. And if something looks off, you will see it. And with some other providers, you're literally digging through paragraphs, okay? This is structured for real decision making. All right, let's scroll on over to auction and sales section. And here's something that you often don't get elsewhere. You get an auction history and sales context. So if the vehicle passed through auction, you can see how it was presented, sometimes even with photos. And that's powerful because dealers buy at auction. And if you can see what they saw, you understand the margin and negotiation room. Now, this is where it becomes actionable, okay? Xylocar provides market pricing context, not just a static retail number. You can see where this vehicle sits relative to comparable listings, and that's how you negotiate. All right, some reports tell you what happened, and Xylocar helps you decide what to pay. All right, so let's scroll over to factory features and equipment, and it's laid out very clearly here. If the listing says fully loaded, but the VIN says it's a base trim, then you'll know. And that alone can save you thousands. All right, next steps here. Let's scroll to the bottom. And I like this. It doesn't just dump data on you and then leave you there. It gives you next step guidance. What to verify, what to inspect, and what to ask the seller. And that is buyer focused. So here's the takeaway. Carfax is well known. Experian Autocheck is solid. And they both provide history. But when you compare them side by side, Xylocar gives you the most complete and actionable report. It's got a clear timeline, auction visibility, market pricing context, visual red flags. All that gives you negotiation leverage. And if you don't have time to compare everything, use Xylocar. And if you do have time, compare them yourself. You'll probably land in the same spot I did. All that to say, try your VIN on Xylocar.com and see the full story before you buy.